Hi everybody, this is Vic, and this is Milo. He's replacing Carl for today's podcast. Uh, we are here to break ankles. So Milo, I see you're a Bulls fan, that's great. I think he's a little more quiet than Carl is. Carl talks a lot. So I hope everybody's had a first good couple of weeks of the new year. We're going to get started here, Milo and I. And the first thing we're gonna hit upon is the Bobby Portis fall. I don't know if you saw the fall the other day. It's going to be on the screen here in just a little bit in slow motion. Bobby Portis went up to swipe Caldwell Pope's ball, hit him in the head, and he got ejected for that fall. Here it's in full speed. Wham! I know the Lakers, you can see all the Lakers getting all ticked off. And the all cool Rajon Rondo puts him aside, starts talking to him. Of course, I think they were actually teammates, so kind of interesting. So I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. All right, so yeah, he's in the background there, Milo. Milo thought he was going for the head, but Milo likes to play rough, man. He's a big guy. He wears, nice jersey himself. He thought he was going for the head, as did so many other people. Now, there's one rule in the NBA that I don't really care for, is the amount of toughness that NBA players can't use these days. I personally think that Bobby Portis was trying to swipe the ball from the backside of Caldwell's position there, and he accidentally hit him in the head. And in fact, he got ejected for it. And the NBA really has tried to stay consistent with this rule. So anytime you go for a player's head, you get ejected. The other day, Andre Drummond threw a ball at Daniel Gafford. He got ejected too. I think it's a little crazy, honestly, but hey, you're trying to keep the players safe. I really think Bobby Portis is an aggressive player and was just going for the ball. All right, now we're gonna move on to another topic here. We're gonna move on to Perkins. We're in duplicate here. Okay, so if you were paying attention, one of the dramas in the NBA was Kendrick Perkins. He was trying to give feedback on Russell Westbrook coming back to OKC. The Rockets played OKC and they got trounced. But you could see on the post here, Kendrick Perkins was going to give his feedback on Russell Westbrook and how he is Mr. Thunder. And then some dude from New York weighed in on it, and Kendrick Perkins and the guy from New York went back and forth on it. Here, I'm going to show you some responses. And then Kevin Durant responded. So the guy from New York was saying that Kevin Durant was so much better of a player than Russell Westbrook, and Kendrick Perkins said, "You know what? I never said he wasn't. That Kevin Durant wasn't a better player. I'm just saying Russell Westbrook is Mr. OKC, and Kevin Durant left to go to a better team." So he left, opened the door for Westbrook. Well, I think Kevin Durant kind of took that to heart and then responded. And these guys were teammates. So you can see what Kevin Durant says. He says, "Weak is starting at center, playing real minutes with no production." He didn't. Perkins was kind of on a downward spiral at that time. And then Perkins responded about him leaving to go to a 73-9 team with the Warriors. And then you can see on the bottom here, Perkins put some stats. Russell Westbrook in Thunder history, #1 in points and assists, rebounds, steals, and in fact signed a deal. He signed a deal with the. Here I'm gonna go back on the screen here myself. He signed a deal. See, I'm still getting used to this, and I'm out of the screen. All right, Russell Westbrook signed a contract with OKC, and he wanted to stay. He was there for the long term. So I agree with Perkins. I just think it's kind of nasty going back and forth with your former teammates on this. And Perkins was friends. He apologized. So that was another thing, another big thing out there. Other than that, I kind of wanted to talk about some up and coming teams in the NBA right now. And we're going to go back to the screen here. I'm going to show you. Okay, so if I look at the current standings right now in the NBA, okay, so the Bucks, man, I gotta say, hands down, I think Bucks, the way they're playing right now, all around and their bench, they are going to win the championship over the Lakers. That's my guess, unless the Lakers get hurt. But there are some up and coming teams. Not much in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference, in fact, only have 6 teams that are over 500. Before they had 7. But Orlando's kind of improved a little bit. And then Charlotte's kind of taken a dive because they were in the number 8 seed a little bit ago. And you can see our lowly Bulls here. They're only at 4.5 games out of the 8 seed, which is crazy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on not the top tier, but I'm going to concentrate on the Western Conference and 2 teams specifically that are doing really well. One, Utah. I mean, I think Carl and I predicted this in the beginning of the year that Utah was going to be good, but they didn't start off good. And then Memphis. Memphis has started to do better. I think they're up and coming teams, quite honestly. Phoenix is down and out, and Portland they're just hurting. All right, so we're going to get out of this screen here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what do we think is the reason. Let's start off with Utah. Okay, so you could see Utah. They just signed. Well, they traded for Jordan Clarkson. So Jordan Clarkson, he's basically kind of replacing Michael Conley, who's been hurt. Since Jordan Clarkson has joined the team, the Utah Jazz have gone on an 8-game winning streak and plus some. He's brought them some offense that they didn't have before Conley left. I think Conley's just been inconsistent. But Bogdan Bogdanovic, who we said was an awesome pick from the Pacers, he's been outstanding. They're starting to gel as a team. Even the other night, Donovan Mitchell was out, and I can't remember who they smoked, but it was quite impressive. The Utah Jazz are for real. I would be excited to actually see Utah versus the Lakers in the conference finals. I'm not sure if Denver is going to be able to compete at that level. And then you can never doubt the Rockets with Harden and Westbrook, because when it comes down to playoffs, it comes down to point guard play, and they're going to be pretty impressive. So Utah, definitely good. Then let's see, that's not the one we want to talk about. We're going to look at. I don't think I actually put the other one in here. But we're going to talk about Kyle Kuzma without me on the camera. Kyle Kuzma for the Lakers. He's only making $1.9 million. This is his 3rd year. And actually, he's taken a drop in points per game. Also in field goal percentage, I think, from year 2 to year 3. But that's understandable. So what about Kyle Kuzma? Kyle Kuzma, first of all, has got funky hair. He's got that blonde do. I know somebody was making fun of him for it the other day when he went to talk to Melo. So, not Carmelo, Ball. So Ball came up to him at the end of the New Orleans Pelicans game and was giving him garbage about his hair. But Kyle Kuzma the other night, without Anthony Davis and LeBron, scored like 36 points. And the Lakers trounced OKC. And OKC had Chris Paul and everybody else. And in fact, I owe Carl Milo Milo, I owe Carl an apology. Chris Paul can still do it. He can still hoop. He's got OKC running, and I don't even think they were going to make the playoffs this year. Right now, they are in the hunt for the playoffs, which is pretty impressive. But Kyle Kuzma, let's talk about a guy who seemed to be untradeable in the beginning of the year when the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis to the Pelicans. And now there's been some kind of rumors about the Pelicans some rumors about the Lakers wanting to trade Kyle Kuzma. I think that's absolutely nuts. 1.9 million. What are you going to get for him? You're going to get some pieces or a draft pick that might not be worth it. I don't think that's smart. You know what? Honestly, he's got to get adjust to his role in the Lakers, and I think that's been tough for him. And I think, honestly, you talk about any teammate, right? Right, Milo? What, Milo? Oh, you think it's their fault if they sign with a team with like two of the best players? I understand. Well, he didn't sign with them. He was already there. He kind of just got stuck with two of the best players, which is tough. But some players who go to play with another team, let's say like Chris Bosh, he was the go-to man on the Raptors, and then when he went to the Heat, it was completely different. His points per game were down, but he won a championship. So you gotta figure out and weigh the odds on that type of thing. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about. I was gonna talk about Memphis Grizzlies. So the Memphis Grizzlies, they're another team. They won the last four. They beat the Heat, some other lower teams too, but they've also beat the Clippers recently too. Ja Morant, fantastic. Right now, I would say he's Rookie of the Year. You got Jackson in there, Valanciunas, Brandon Clark. They've got a really good core group. And Ja Morant's been scoring, I would say, like 20 points a game, close to triple-double. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to be really good. Now, if they were in the Eastern Conference, I would say they'd be guaranteed for a playoff spot. But with that Western Conference, who knows how it's going to play out at the end. But right now, they're in there, and that'd be exciting to see them in there. And I can only see them getting better. So that's pretty exciting. Going to the Bulls now. Okay, Bullies. All right, so the Bulls, they're terrible. They won against the Pistons, the lowly Pistons, but Zach LaVine has been on fire. He's in the top 10 scoring in the NBA right now. And let's see, Wendell Carter got hurt. Daniel Gafford is a beast down low, but he's kind of inconsistent right now, and he's just starting to take over for them. But the Bulls have got to do something. If they can unload some players for some lower picks, get more playing time for Kobe White, Daniel Gafford, see what they got in some of those other players that they signed recently, like Luke Cornett, and Denzel Valentine. I mean, he can score. I would rather you get rid of like Shaquille Harrison, Chris Dunn, maybe let Denzel play a little bit. He's got some better offense. But then what problems do you have on defense? Because Chris Dunn is kind of a stopper in that area. He just can't score very well on a consistent manner, and we need someone on the Bulls. So Chris Paul would be a great pickup, right, Milo? You said Carl told me so. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get it. All right, so Milo, we've got one trivia question to do here. All right, we got our background here. Here's the trivia question for today. Sorry for that screw up earlier. Somebody was texting me. I was trying to read it. Kind of made my mind a little foggy. I don't need much to make it foggy. Okay, so this is the question, the finals. Which big three won the most NBA titles playing together? Was it Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Parrish? Was it LeBron, Dwayne, Bosh? Was it Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, Jordan, Pippen, or Rodman? Or finally, Rob Johnson, Abdul-Jabbar, and Worthy. Yikes. All right, so I'm going to write down my pick. In fact, I would put Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, but they were only together for 3 years. Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, Johnson, Jabbar. I'm going to go Bird. I'm not supposed to say. I'm going to say Bird, McHale, and Parrish, the Chief. What'd you put, Milo? Milo put, can you read it? He put Magic, Kareem, and Worthy. All right, we're going to read the answer. Okay, so the answer, is the Spurs. I guarantee you Carl would have picked that one. The Spurs trio won 4 titles and 5 finals appearances. In their 14 historic seasons together under coach Greg Popovich, they never failed to reach the playoffs or win at least 50 regular season games. That's quite impressive. And unfortunately, Greg Popovich, I feel sorry for him. The Spurs are not doing good this year. So, thanks for the time, guys. It's always a blast being able to talk about NBA, and I appreciate the people that follow us. Once again, you could go to past episodes, and in fact, we talk about the decade last episode. Go back and look at that. And we always try and fit some of the Bulls talk in there, even if it's for a little bit. So make sure you spread the news with this. If you wouldn't mind sharing this, that would be great. We also used CBS Sportsline on here to check out the statistics. Always a great spot for stuff. Anyway, peace out.